I've had a couple of messages from people who've asked me to do a more detailed version of the video with some close-ups and some voiceovers. So this is just for them or anybody else who is building a similar bike. Now, I strongly recommend when you're stripping the bike down to take as many pictures and videos as you can. Because when you're putting the bike back together, I can guarantee that you will not be able to remember where everything goes. This is just a quick close-up just to show you how all the suspension parts go together. I just clean the bearings in white spirit and then put lots of grease around the bearing carrier and then put the bearings in one by one. You only want to do this hand tight so it moves freely. If it does feel a little bit stiff, then just back it off a tiny little bit. The thing that helped me the most during the restoration was this bench wire wheel, because you can polish up all the nuts and bolts to look like new quite easily. Luckily, I didn't have to rebuild the forks during the restoration, so all I did was repaint them and then put some new boots on them. I use grease here, but I think it would have been a lot better just to spray them in WD-40 or something similar. I tried to install the engine from the other side to start with, but I just couldn't get it to fit, so obviously fit it from the left-hand side. I fed the chain through, but then I realised that I'd have to remove the swing arm again to get it in the right position. Once you've got the chain on, you can adjust it with the little cams. Just make sure that they're both in exactly the same position so it's perfectly even. The front wheel was fairly straightforward. Just make sure you put plenty of grease on the spindle before you put it in. When you fit in the speedo inner cable, make sure you put plenty of grease on it again, feed it up, make sure there's some sticking out, and then put that section into the connector first and then push it down. Otherwise, you'll never be able to get it seated right. Now, one thing that I didn't realise, when I tried to turn the headlamp on with the ignition on, it never worked. And then I realised that the bike's actually got to be running for the headlamp to be working. I didn't do any videos of me installing the brakes and the wiring, but I've done some close-ups here so you can see where everything goes. That was one of the biggest problems that I had, just trying to work out where everything's routed, where everything's bolted and everything goes. So these close-ups here hopefully should really help somebody. One good tip that I found is when you're bleeding the brakes, if you just flick the brake lever very, very slightly but very, very quickly, then the bubbles come out a lot easier. lastly, we just needed to fit the tank, the plastics and the seat, and then we're pretty much done. If anybody's got any questions, just leave a comment and I'll try to answer as fast as I can. Thank you for watching.